Joe Biden's cabinet is beginning to take shape as we now know who the Secretary of State is going to be. And it's not a good pick. So I'm going to show you both perspectives here. People thinking this is a solid pick, and I'm also going to get into the reality, which is Tony Blinken's record, and what this could mean for Joe Biden. First up, New York Times here announcing the news. Breaking news, President-elect Joe Biden is expected to nominate Antony Blinken, a defender of global alliances and a close advisor, as Secretary of State. Matt Duss, Bernie's foreign policy advisor, here tweeting out, "This is a good choice. Tony has the strong confidence of the president-elect and the knowledge and experience for the important work of rebuilding U.S. diplomacy. It will also be a new and great thing to have a top diplomat who has regularly engaged with progressive grassroots." Now, Joe Scarborough also loves the pick. When Joe Scarborough likes a pick, probably not a good sign. He's tweeting out here, "What great news for a battered State Department. Tony Blinken will be a great Secretary of State and make America proud." One last thing here on a positive note. This is a quote from Tony Blinken saying, "So I think a Biden administration would actually reassert American leadership, leading with our diplomacy. We'd actually show up again, day in, day out, and we'd engage the world, not as it was in, 2009 or even 2017 when we left office, but as it is, and as we anticipate it's going to become in the coming years." So I said positive because I like this approach, not treating this like it's 2009, but treating it like the here and now and what needs to be done. But reasserting American leadership, we all know what that typically means. It means America dominates the world. Whatever America chooses is best for America means in their mind is best for the world, but in reality, it's just best for people at the top, people in power, defense contractors. So we will get to why people are concerned about this decision. Medea Benjamin here, co-founder of the peace group Code Pink, saying, quote, "So we will have a president who supported the invasion of Iraq and a Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, who supported the invasion of Iraq. In the U.S., there is no accountability for supporting the worst foreign policy disaster in modern history, only rewards." In fact, Tony Blinken is credited with potentially moving Joe Biden to support the Iraq war back when he supported it. So just to give you a quick overview here of his resume. So he served as Biden's national security advisor, was elevated to Deputy Secretary of State under President Barack Obama, and then co-founded West Exec Advisors, a political strategy firm. And I'll get to more on that in a minute. First here in terms of Blinken's foreign policy and what he has supported. So when it came to, actually starting here, he once broke with Biden and supported military action in Libya, for example. So he's actually more hawkish than Joe Biden is. Meaning, this is likely somebody who will push Joe Biden to the right when it comes to foreign policy, if that's possible. Referring to the Obama White House's catastrophic decision to join with NATO to bomb that country, an armed intervention that helped unleash a violent civil war that is still ongoing. When it came to Syria policy under Obama, Blinken is also reported to have supported more aggressive military measures against the government of President Bashar al-Assad, and more recently has indicated that the Biden administration would opt for leaving U.S. troops in the war-torn country. Again, more hawkish than even Biden. When Biden, then a senator and chairman of the powerful Senate Foreign Relations Committee, voted in 2002 to authorize the Bush administration's disastrous invasion of Iraq, a decision he has since described as a mistake, Blinken was the Democratic staff director of the committee. The Intercept's Ryan Grim reported last July that Blinken, quote, helped craft Biden's own support for the Iraq war. Speaking to the New York Times earlier this year, Blinken characterized the vote to invade Iraq as, quote, a vote for tough diplomacy. That was this year. Still not acknowledging what a complete disaster of a decision that was. Now, American Prospect put this article out over the summer, July 6th. This is Tony Blinken here with Joe Biden. How Biden's foreign policy team got rich. Strategic consultants will define Biden's relationship to the world. So again, I link to all my sources below the video. You can read through this entire piece, but it goes deep into West Exec Advisors. That's Blinken's firm that he started up after leaving the Obama White House. Part of, or some of his clients in West Exec Advisors included an airline, a global transportation company, a company that makes drones that can almost instantly scan an entire building's interior, West exec would only divulge that it began working with Fortune 100 types, including large U.S. tech, financial services, including global asset managers, aerospace and defense, emerging U.S. tech, and nonprofits. The prospect can confirm that one of those clients is the Israeli artificial intelligence company Windward. With surveillance software that tracks ships in real time, two former Israeli naval intelligence officers established the company in 2010. Gabi Ashkenazi, former chief of staff for the Israel Defense Forces, served on its board. Windward also claims former CIA director David Petraeus as an investor, as well as a Hong Kong billionaire. Most U.S. military tech companies avoid money from China, experts told me, so they turn to investing in Israel. So the kinds of clients that Tony Blinken has had since leaving the Obama-Biden White House have been corporate clients and defense contractors, giving you an idea of his worldview. Again, this is somebody who has been more hawkish, more conservative than Joe Biden has. Another issue is that Blinken seems to be more comfortable working with neoconservatives than with progressives. When the Biden campaign attacked Women's March organizer Linda Sarsour in a call this summer, activists raised concerns. The campaign walked it back, and Blinken later apologized to the Muslim and Arab American community. While some progressive foreign policy experts have supported the Blinken pick, the Biden team only listens to progressives on foreign policy when they make noise. This article as well, fantastic piece from the American Prospect, basically goes over the three main things you need to know about Blinken. He cashed in after leaving the Obama White House. He'll push Biden towards the middle, or as I would say, towards conservative positions. And he's going to be powerful because there is no Biden doctrine, meaning that because Biden has no real ideology, for him it's more about personal relationships. Biden being close to Blinken will have a lot of power in pushing Biden in a direction that is Blinken's worldview and not, Biden's worldview, as again, Biden is more about personal relationships and him putting trust in people around him. One last thing here. This is a great article grading Biden's foreign policy team, Tony Blinken, non-zero here. They give him a report card, so they go over his positions on military restraint, cognitive empathy, international law, international governance, universal engagement. Just to mention the B here, since I've been focusing a lot on the negative, on international governance, he's given a B because he would get back into the Paris Climate Accord and also back into the Iran deal. So he was part of the Iran deal, which is, I think Obama's best accomplishment over his 8 years. So that is the positive, as I want to be, completely objective here. But that said, on a lot of these issues, on most of these issues, he is a lot more hawkish, a lot more right-wing than Joe Biden is. And because Joe Biden has no real ideology, and it's because he's about personal relationships, I'm afraid of the kind of power and impact Blinken's going to have over Joe Biden.